running today, huh?
For you either, if your name is Kimball. No more running today, or perhaps tomorrow, or for maybe a few weeks with luck. You've found yourself a place to rest. Another name, another job. Your name, Dick Lindsay. Your job, handyman at the Bowden Russet Kennels. Bowden Russet Kennels. For 30 years, breeding America's finest Irish setters. Prize-winning animals, closely guarded, protected from the outside world by lock and key.
Go on, Colleen.
For what reason, then, would a member of the Bowden family take Colleen, one of the kennel's most valued animals, and deliberately turn her loose in the field? To run away? Why?
Colleen! Hey, come here, girl! Colleen! 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 Here you go.
Want to stop for a drink?
Not today.
Everybody will know we won the semifinals. It wouldn't hurt to stop. Have a drink, talk.
I want to go home, Dad.
Cora, huh? 4 years, and I keep forgetting you're married.
You keep forgetting a lot of things.
Like what? Come on, get it off your chest.
Did you have to chew me out like that in front of the others? Or don't you care what I look like? Just the dogs.
I have to point out when you do something wrong.
So they moved the startup, so how should I know?
How could you know? Stretched out under a tree, sound asleep. If I hadn't found you and the dog when I did, we'd have been out of it. No finals tomorrow, no nothing.
No new cup to put up on the shelf.
No extra 10,000 to put in the bank. You know Lee Burroughs has been after the place. If we take the state finals tomorrow, I can push the price up another 10,000.
You never said you were selling?
I never said I wasn't. And he keeps raising his offer. Any objection? 10,000's a lot of money. You work that dog careful tomorrow.
Maybe you ought to work him yourself.
What?
Maybe you ought to work him yourself.
Maybe I ought.
Fine.
What's the idea?
I want that drink I didn't want.
How'll you get home?
I'll get home.
Colleen! Hey, girl!
But Colleen always did like to tramp. How did she get out?
You tell me. By the way, did Johnny say why he was stopping off in town?
No.
Just take it easy. We'll get you out of here. Now, take it easy, girl. Take it easy. We'll get you out of here. Just take it easy.
Max, it might be a kindness not to let her suffer. She's ripped pretty bad. Deep from the looks of it. You might not be able to save her if you tried. If she does live, she'll probably be lame. No good to anyone, least of all herself.
Maybe you're right.
He's got a gun in the wagon. I suppose that seems kind of cruel to you.
I don't like to see things die.
You get used to it working around a kennel.
We'll be at the wagon.
Do you want me to do it?
Getting on too dark. We can bury her tomorrow.
Mr. Bowden, you don't need me anymore.
Well, there's no reason you have to eat and run.
Well, you must be pretty tired. Been a tough day.
I'm all right.
Tomorrow, why don't you pile more of the work on Johnny? Take a lot of the load off.
A lot.
You don't see this much anymore, father and son. When you do, I guess this is the result.
Those things are the answer to 30 years breeding. It's all in the bloodline. You tell me a dog's line, and I'll just about tell you what he'll do. You get along with your father?
I'm fine. I always thought we'd be working together. Well, it didn't work out that way. I talk too much.
You don't talk enough. You never said one word about this afternoon. That thing in the woods. You can't run a kennel like this on sentiment. You can't always give in to your feelings. You'd know that if you'd worked around dogs before.
I'm afraid I haven't. All I know about dogs is that I like them.
Did you think I'd forgotten? House rule. Brandy for the semifinals and champagne for the finals.
Well, I think you better skip me. I'll get some sleep. I'll wait for the finals. Good night.
like him. He's got good sense.
Yes, he's caught on rather fast for someone who's never worked around dogs.
If Lee Burroughs is smart, he'll hang on to him.
Max, you're going to sell.
Maybe. I'm thinking about it.
Well, have you told Lee yet?
Tomorrow, after the trials.
Well, why wait?
Means extra money if we win.
And if we lose?
We won't lose.
But Max, suppose, just suppose. You know how Lee is. He could change just like that and drop the whole deal.
He hasn't dropped it in 3 years.
But why take a chance, Max? You could pick up the phone and settle it right now.
I'm not ready to settle it now.
But you just said that you...
I said I was thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Johnny, I guess. Cora, tell him I went to bed. I'm tired.
Colleen. Why didn't you tell me?
I wasn't sure. I wanted to watch her a while.
Oh, Cora. You should have waited. Talk to me first.
I couldn't wait for you to make up your mind. Don't worry, darling. Max won't know about it. She's gone.
Well, she could come back.
I don't seem to be getting through to you. The kennel man shot her. She's dead.
Ride at night. The only purpose, to verify that a prize-winning dog is dead. Why?
It's pretty stupid coming out here like this. Suppose Max heard us take the car.
Not him. He hits that bed and he's gone. Clear conscience, I guess.
Meaning what?
Meaning I don't like what we're doing to him.
Well, maybe I don't like what he's done to you. Sick of playing house with a frightened little boy whose father leads him around on a short leash. Don't you have any feelings at all? What he did to you today.
Cora, you have to understand him. His whole life's in the place.
Well, I'm not putting mine into it. 4 years. Oh, I've had it. Johnny, we can get away if he sells. Well, you're not going to stop it. Not you or anyone or anything. Okay, come on and have your look. Then we can get some sleep. Over here by the fence.
Come on.
Take it easy, girl. Be finished in just a minute.
Well, where is she?
She.
Well, you've got to have her. You're the only one who knew where she was. So you couldn't do it? Who patched her up? You?
Well, she wasn't hurt nearly as bad as we thought. The cuts were mostly superficial.
You did a very professional job.
Well, I watched Doc Anders often enough.
Doc Anders?
Yeah, he was a vet back home. I worked for him for a couple of years.
Where was that?
It was a little town on the coast of California. I don't think you've ever heard of it.
Well, Max isn't going to like this. Disregarding orders.
Does he have to know? I mean, for right now. He might feel different if I can get her on her feet.
You better get this stuff back to the dispensary. Max notices everything.
You're not gonna tell him?
I guess not. How do you know I've never heard of it? That little town of yours.
Carpinteria.
You're right, I've never heard of it. Well, you're going to have quite a job keeping her inside.
I'll tie her up with something. She lost her choke chain.
I guess she must have lost it in the brush. Be careful. Johnny. He just couldn't do it. He's a dog lover. He's got her in his room.
Well, we've got to get her out.
Don't worry, darling. He'll hide her from Max. He has to. He even made me promise not to tell. There's something fishy about him, though. You should see the way he patched her up. He told me he'd learned it from a vet.
Well, maybe he did.
But he told Max he'd never worked around dogs before.
Well, it's about time you got here with my dog.
He isn't yours till I sell, if I sell.
Morning, Mr. Burroughs.
Good morning, son. I'm putting 8 to 5 on Danny, right?
Oh, you won't get anything but richer.
Dad, I've got to talk to you.
They're gonna start. You gotta check in.
It's about Colleen. It's very important.
So you should have got here faster.
I couldn't get here faster. I've been thinking.
So it isn't so important.
Dad, will you listen to me for once?
You listen. Get the dog and check in.
Something Doc Anders forget to tell you?
There's something wrong with Colleen.
Of course there is. She cut herself up on that wire.
It's not that. It's when she walks, it seems to be in her hip.
Oh? What's your diagnosis, doctor?
No, it's not mine. It's the book.
Oh?
It's right here. Explains it exactly.
What?
Hip dysplasia.
Well, you better just forget it. I mean, you just say hip dysplasia in a kennel like this, and you might as well put a match to it. You walk in off the street, and you pick up a book, and you've got the whole thing figured out. It's wild.
It's so wild that you tried to get rid of her.
Me?
Well, somebody did. Somebody opened the gate, somebody took a choke chain.
Somebody. Doesn't have to be me. All right. Maybe it's true. I said maybe. Do you want to wipe out 30 years of hard work? Did you know Max had an offer on the place?
You mean he'd sell?
$130,000. Maybe 40 if he wins this afternoon. But he won't sell, not if he knows about Colleen. At least not without telling Lee Burroughs first. That's the kind of man he is. And Lee will drop the price down to nothing. That's the kind of man he is.
You do this to Max, so that's the type of woman you are.
4 years, penned up in the sticks out here, playing nursemaid to a lot of dogs. And dirt under my nails, and the smell of this place in my hair. Well, you can have it. I want out. I know that doesn't mean anything to you. So go ahead. Be a Boy Scout. Tell Max about Colleen and wash his whole life down the drain. Oh, and while you're at it, really finish him off. Tear him apart. Tell him his son tried to cover it up. Hello, operator. I want long distance, please. Carpinteria, California. Come on. Come on. Come on, Joe. Hey, Danny! Come on! Come here, Hey! Danny, come on! Come on, Danny!
Right, son. Boot him on home.
Left. Turn him left.
I swear I'm the only jackass in the county walks standing up. I know if he wins, it's going to cost me extra money, but here I am hoping he does.
Turn him, Johnny. Now.
Hey, Max, you hear what I said?
I'll work the next stake myself. Go on. Get your mind somewhere else.
Hello, operator. Listen, I'm still waiting for that California call. Will you please? Thank you. What are you trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to make sure. Well, maybe we're wrong. Maybe there's no reason to say anything to Max.
Then don't say anything.
We don't have to guess. There's a way to find out.
For a man who doesn't know very much about dogs.
It shows up in human beings, in small children. I can find it in an X-ray. Now, if I find a lab somewhere...
You'll do what?
I'll find a lab somewhere in town, get a picture taken.
Oh, no, you won't. You'll turn this Jeep around and head for home.
When I'm through in town.
Mr. Lindsay, there's a telephone booth just down the road away. All I have to do is phone the police. Tell them that you stole the Jeep and the dog. Now, Bowden is a very good name around here. And you're? Nothing. You wouldn't get a mile. I'll follow you. Hello? Oh, yes, operator. I did call Carpinteria. Oh, I had to go out, but I can take it now. Are you sure? No, I don't think so. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
He took the whole lot from top to bottom.
That's wonderful.
Ain't no question about it. He is the best dog in the whole state. Thank you. And if I got to admit it, the best handler, too. Hey, Max, where's that champagne you were telling us about?
You all look thirsty, all right. Cora, will you bring it out?
I just wanted to say congratulations. You said you'd win. I'll put Danny away for you.
Thank you. Then come back and have some champagne.
Maybe I will after they've gone. I'd like to talk to you.
Okay, then.
Thank you.
Well, honey, where'd you go for that? Here, let me do that for you. Here, and keep 'em coming, honey.
You bet. Have a good time.
Thank you. Here's a champagne. Let's break it open.
Listen, Johnny, there's something. He lied to Max and he lied to me. When the long-distance operator said there's no Doc Anderson Carpinteria,
Well, that doesn't have to
Well, you
mean-
should have seen his face when I said the police. He's scared of something, Johnny.
State Police, Lieutenant Sampson.
Wally, this is Cora Bowden.
Well, if you're calling about those shepherds you trained, they're doing just fine.
No, it's not about the dogs. Wally, listen, could you do me a favor?
Oh, sure. Just name it.
Could you find out if the police anywhere are looking for a man who's got something to do with medicine?
Well, no, that's a pretty big order.
A medical student or an intern or an ambulance driver. Someone who's been around doctors a lot.
Well, for anybody else, it'd be a pain in the neck. I'll call you.
Thanks, Wally.
Get out there once, will you? The last 5 or 6 months.
Hey, come on, Lee. I gotta go. You know my old lady.
Okay, I'll be with you in a minute.
Come on.
Hey, Max. You know, you could save me a trip out here to sign. We could shake on it right now.
I told you, I'll call you tomorrow.
You sure are a hard man to do business with. Come on, son, let's go. Good night, Cora.
Good night.
Good night, Johnny. Take good care of my dog now.
Good night. I'll walk you to the car.
Lindsay will be in any minute. Now, what do we do?
I don't know.
Look, Cora, he's going to know anyway. Why don't we just go out and tell him ourselves?
Not on your life.
You still think the police are going to come up with a miracle?
Maybe they won't have to.
Like the man said, it's looking in a dark closet for a black cat that isn't there.
Hey,
You got something?
I don't know.
Take it easy, girl. Take it easy.
Start packing.
I hadn't planned on leaving until morning.
Well, you changed your mind. You're leaving now.
Without talking to Max?
That's right.
You've been very good to me. I think I owe it to him to see him before I go.
Maybe we owe it to him to tell him about you.
There's not much to talk about.
There's no Dr. Anders in Carpinteria.
Do you think the police might be curious as to why you had to lie?
Come on, get packed. I'll run you into town.
Your father was wrong. It doesn't always show.
What?
A good bloodline.
Bowden Kennels, what is it?
Max, you keep barking like that, we're gonna have to get you a choke chain. Wally Sampson.
Wally, something wrong?
Well, Cora made an inquiry about a man with a medical background.
What?
Well, didn't you know?
No. Why'd she do that?
Well, I was gonna ask you. Have you got anybody like that around there?
Nobody. Just the family and the kennel man.
Have you got a new kennel man?
2 weeks. He answered the ad.
Any references?
Why? The job doesn't take an experience.
Neither does murder.
What are you talking about?
I've got a poster here of a man named Kimball, Richard Kimball, a doctor. He killed his wife.
Well, you go look for him someplace else. This man's no doctor, no murderer either.
Well, just the same.
No, you're flushing the wrong bird. Look, working with dogs, you get to know people. And I'm telling you, I'd swear by this man.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to make sure. I could be there in a few minutes.
Save your gas and your time. Forget it, Wally.
Goodbye.
What did he say?
He said forget it. It's kind of a nice night for a ride.
Lindsay, Max Bowden. Lindsay, you there?
Don't answer him.
Come on in. I'm sorry.
You patched her up like this? You did the suturing and bandaging? You couldn't finish her, huh? You couldn't tell me, so you're walking out.
They're running me on.
That's not true. He's in trouble with the police.
I'm in trouble with them. They don't want you to know about Colleen.
No, what?
Nothing. There's nothing to know, Max.
What?
She has hip dysplasia. They've known about it for days.
He's lying, Max.
They wanted to hide it from you. They thought it might affect your selling the place.
Don't listen to him.
That's how Colleen got out. She opened the gate.
Is that true? Is it true? It's true. I can't believe it about you, but him.
You don't know anything about
Cora.
him. Well, tell him. Tell him that you hate this place, how you've always hated it.
You hate the place. Why didn't you say so? Why didn't you come to me?
You never had time. You were always too busy with the dogs.
Never too busy for you. What else have I got?
The cups, the ribbons,
The plaques. No,
Oh,
you don't.
Dad, look around! Where's the football letter I won in high school? Where's my class picture, my college diploma? Where is anything that shows what I was, or did, or hoped to be? You say you put 30 years in this place. Well, so did I. Just about. And that's a long time to be playing second dog.
You won't have to anymore. I'm going to sell.
What are you going to do about Colleen?
I'll have to tell Lee.
No, Max. Lee's no fool. You won't get a fourth of what this place is worth.
What is it worth? If it stands between him and me, what is it worth?
Well, I'm getting out now. You can come along or not. As you choose.
Go on. She's your wife. She's what you want. Go on.
You do this for me. You'd throw the whole place away. You'd throw it away. Dad, we can lick the dysplasia. We'll build a line back. Suppose it takes us 5 or 6 years, so what?
Us?
Well, you always said I was half of the firm.
Somebody just drove in. Go see who it is. The police called here a while ago. They're looking for a doctor. A man named Kimball. You say he killed his wife?
He didn't.
I didn't think he did. A man who couldn't kill a dog. I always liked this room. That window has a very nice view of the woods.
Your kennel man around?
Why? What do you want him for?
I'm not sure if we do want him. But if we do, it's because he's an interstate fugitive.
Wally! You couldn't take my word, could you? Just had to come out and spend the taxpayers' money, huh?
I wanted some air. Is that him?
It's hard to say in this light. My reading glasses are in the house.
Max. Where is he?
All right. All right. Lindsay, are you up?
His light's on.
Max Bowden, open up.
The woods. Made to order. Bob, we wouldn't stand a chance in the dark. Is that his dog?
Mine. He's been taking care of her.
Let's go, girl.
She's no good in the field.
One of your dogs? I'll take my chance. Go get him, girl.
She's been hurt. She's sick.
I won't keep her out too long.
Find him, girl. Come on, you can find him.
Colleen, go on. Go away, Colleen. Go on, Colleen. Go on.
Where are you, girl?
Go on. I told you she's no good in the field. Hardly worth keeping, except as a pet.
From Denver. No return address. Had it made in silver. Saying thanks, I guess.
And thanks should be on our side. You did a lot for us.
And took a big chance.
That kind of man doesn't figure the chances. When it's in the bloodline.
You took a chance for someone, and it worked out for him. Someday, perhaps it will work out for you. Somewhere in some far-off city, in some far-off time. But this is now, and you are still running. You are a fugitive. Run before the relentless pursuit of the police lieutenant obsessed with his capture.
The guest stars in tonight's story, Diane Foster, John Anderson, Harry Towns. Tonight's episode, Scapegoat.
name on the time card is Hayes. A name is easily changed, dropped, and forgotten. Every identity Richard Kimball has borrowed has vanished for good when he moved on.
Fry. Eddie Fry. Wait a minute, Eddie. Hey, aren't you Eddie Fry?
Got me mixed up with somebody else.
Sure. Gee, when I saw you just now, you sent a chill right through me.
My name is Hayes, Bill Hayes.
Oh, come on, Eddie. No two guys could look that much alike.
I told you my name is Hayes. You want me to spell it for you?
Yeah, sure. I guess I'm wrong. The guy I'm thinking of was murdered back in Black River, South Dakota.
Murdered?
Yeah, he's dead.
All right, I'm Eddie Fry. But I don't know you.
I used to work in the hardware store for a while. I shaved my mustache off.
What made him think I was murdered?
Well, the way you dropped out of sight, everybody figured you was dead. And all that bad blood business coming out at the trial.
What trial?
You sure you don't know?
Justin Briggs?
That's right. They arrested him and put him on trial.
Well, what happened?
They judged him guilty. Everybody knew you and him had some trouble. Nobody liked Briggs too much.
Well, Briggs is about a half a century behind his time. You don't know that. I guess you could have trouble.
Maybe I didn't make myself clear when you first come here, Fry. Take the book back to the library where it come from.
Pa, there might be some good in that book.
Modern business trends? Something wrong with the way I do business at the shop?
Well, no, Pa, but I was just thinking of the future and...
Mr. Briggs, I didn't think there was any harm in that.
Now, Fry, you don't think it's up to the hired hand to run the house, do you?
No, I didn't mean that.
Well, all right. All right, now. I raised these boys for 14 years. Alone. Taught them two things boys don't learn in books. One, you seem to know how to give an honest day's work. The other, mind their own affairs. Miss Cummings! You know where to get your supper. The kitchen. We're about ready to set.
Hey, stupid. What makes you think that you can read, huh? I don't see any harm in reading a
Honest
book.
days, work with the hands, boys. That's what counts.
Sorry. I'll dish up for you just as soon as I get them served.
Thank you. There you go.
Did you call anybody yet or anything?
I don't know what I'm going to prove with a phone call.
Well, buddy, you better do something. You just can't leave Briggs sitting there waiting to be executed. He's innocent. Well, I guess you got some good reason for changing your name. Is that why you don't call the local police and let them handle it?
I'll handle it. I just don't want to wire a telephone. Or somebody in Black River either lied or made a mistake. I don't know which or why.
Hayes?
I don't know what it might mean to me.
Bill Hayes.
Yeah?
2 days and 2 hours this week, an hour overtime yesterday. You quit, your group insurance cancels out. You want the papers?
You keep them.
Hey, I'm sorry, Eddie. I popped off back there.
That's all right. Just do me a favor. Forget that you saw me. Huh?
Yeah, well, listen, maybe I can give you a little tip. You remember that housekeeper, Janice Cummings? Were you friends with her?
Just friends.
Well, you know, she used to cook and keep house for Briggs. Everybody figured someday she was going to marry him. Funny thing, she was the only witness to the murder. She's the one that said she saw Briggs kill you.
Thanks.
Eddie Fry, I've been looking for you. Looking all over town.
Hey, where's your girlfriend, Fry? Funny, you've been drinking again. Hey, you been around here quite a while now. Man like you ought to have a girlfriend.
What does she mean to you, Fry? Who? Janice Cummings.
I don't even know why you should ask.
Hey, Paul, now, what's wrong?
You tell me. Why you'd rather be here with him than home. Come between me and the woman is one thing. Come between me and my son, I don't understand. How many times have I warned you, Fry? Don't meddle.
Why don't you fire him, Pop? Run him out of town.
Maybe I won't stop at that. Maybe I'll break this man, Fry. Maybe I'll just finish him.
I'm sorry, Eddie. I just came over to warn you that, well, Mr. Briggs has been drinking.
I know that. Why?
Well, I had to tell him that I'd never marry him.
Well, does that have something to do with me?
No. Just that, well, the way he's been treating you, it's made me see how mean he is to Roy and to everybody. Since I've been working for him, I lost every friend I ever had in Black River. I said to him, I said, Roy's a fine boy, and you're a fine man. And I told him that I'd call a constable if he ever tried to hurt you.
Has he hurt you?
Oh, no, he wouldn't do that. You see, it's you that he blames for everything.
Well, I don't need a constable. Come on, you go home. Sinners.
Found you. I found you.
Oh.
You're drunk and you're wrong, Briggs.
No, wait a minute. Wait. Don't.
Oh, my God.
Take it easy.
Well, I didn't mean to shock everyone. I tried to find you first, Constable.
Eddie Fry.
I came as soon as I heard.
Where were you?
Well, that's not important now. Where is Justin Briggs? I went to the jail.
Where were you? Why didn't you come forward?
I found out about the trial yesterday. I've been traveling ever since. Briggs is innocent. Where is he? What do I do to clear him?
I'll tell him.
Justin Briggs is dead. You had him in jail, broke away, hunted him down. You shot him. I watched him die. I don't know what chance he had for a new trial. I know they put in the appeal, but I could see the waiting was eating at him every day a little worse. Good morning, Bertrand. Would you mind looking this over? It's Mr. Fry's statement of what occurred on the night of the alleged murder.
Who's been informed of Fry's return?
Well, only you, officially, but you'll get around.
What did occur that night, Mr. Fry?
Mr. Bertrand Ballinger, the lawyer here, defended Briggs at the trial.
We fought. I got away. I ran into the woods. I got lost.
Did you ever think of yourself as a coward, Mr. Fry?
You wouldn't be looking for a scapegoat, would you, Mr. Ballinger?
Why would I be doing that?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of case the state presented that you couldn't break by demanding a victim or a body.
State didn't need a body. Had an eyewitness.
One witness, Janice Cummings.
And a corroborator. I was there. She came over to my house yelling for help. I ran back with her. To the Briggs' barn, that lean-to where you lived. It was a mess. Full of evidence. There was some blood around. We took samples, had them tested. We showed it wasn't his blood. It had to be yours. We even found a weapon.
So use that. He stabbed him. I saw it.
Miss Cummings, I think you better go outside and wait a while until I get the... Briggs, where's your hired man?
You killed him.
Briggs is accusing you of murder.
Because he deserved it, that's why.
Where is he?
Get him. He's gone.
Bring it up.
Constable.
Bring it up.
Look at his feet.
He was wearing those. I impounded them. We proved there's only one place that mud could have come from. There's a quicksand bog in those woods out near his house.
Yes, I know.
And that bog's been known to swallow a full-grown deer. He had time to carry a body over there and...
Does your signature on a piece of paper erase all this from your conscience, Mr. Fry?
There doesn't seem to be much more I can do.
So you'll run away. You ran away before. I wonder why.
I have a better question for you, Mr. Ballinger. His appeal was pending. He knew I was alive. Why did Briggs run away?
I don't think we ever thanked you, Fry, for coming back.
Yeah. I don't think you ever will.
Eddie, I gotta talk to you. Could we just sit down for a minute?
All right. Janice, I didn't want to walk in on you this morning, but I didn't know that you were working at the tavern.
Did you think I'd still be working for the Briggses?
I came back to clear him. I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Eddie, are you going to see the boys?
I don't think so. They know their father is innocent. That's good enough. Well,
Eddie, you got to see the boys, because you could talk to Roy.
I think it'd only make things worse for them.
It's for me I'm asking. It's for me. Eddie, I sat in there in that witness stand, and I swore to God that I saw their father kill you.
Well, you believed it, didn't you?
Fry, there's no bus out of here till tomorrow morning.
Well, I won't need a bus.
The older boy, Ben, he's been drinking quite a lot.
Oh, now, don't exaggerate it, Bertram. He'll come around.
How's that going to affect Miss Cummings in the meantime?
Eddie, it all began with you. Things might have quieted down, but well, here you are again. Do I have to face it alone?
Van, no, don't. I told you that woman lied, Roy. Then they all swore. Scales, Curry, and even Constable Gibson. I know what they saw and what they heard. Even you did that, Roy. But here comes Eddie Fry back to town alive. He was the only person that swore to what never happened. All for nothing. Our Pa was killed for nothing? Justice, Roy. They showed us how to do justice. Hey, Ben, wait. Maybe Scales was wrong. Maybe it wasn't Eddie he saw. Eddie Fry's your problem, kid. The one I want is that lousy, lying woman. My Pa was innocent. He was innocent all the time.
Where's Vin? Where'd he go? I wanted to talk to both of you.
What, you want to tell him you're sorry? Well, I'll take him the message.
Roy, it was not my idea to come here. But there is something that should be said before I go.
Yeah, I understand. You're kind of a rolling stone, aren't you?
You remember I was going to leave that night. And then something happened. Janice Cummings saw what happened.
You ran out on me. Eddie, don't you know what you did to me? You know, I liked you. I thought you were my friend. And I believed you. And I believed Janice Cummings against my own father. And now he's dead. And he can't even forgive me.
Roy, I wish you could forgive Janice Cummings. She thought she told the truth.
Well, you better tell that to Vin. And you better tell her to get out of town because she swore my father's life away. And Vin's gonna pay her back.
Grudges. Get back into your apron. At least till I can get another waitress. Hold on. Never mind. Just get out and don't come back. Out the back door. Out, out. Wouldn't do to keep her anyway. Just about to open the bar, Vin.
I saw that woman come in here.
I couldn't let her stay. That Fry, he brought her in. Vin, I took an oath on the witness stand. And they made me say certain things. Because I take my oath serious. But I couldn't lie about what I heard. Your pa did make a threat to Fry, we know that. But, Vin, I don't want nothing to make it look like I had any hard feelings. I bear no grudges, Vin. And you just remember, Vin, I was not part of that posse that ran your pa down. I was out there, yes, but I had no gun. I did not have a gun, Vin.
You defended Briggs. You said you believed he was innocent. You must have some influence on those boys.
I take this to mean you do have an interest in the welfare of Janice Cummings?
How do we keep coming back to that?
Because somehow you two have become a torment to this town. By nightfall, shame and guilt will be oozing over our door sills, Mr. Fry. The town is going to feel compelled to purge itself. I think it's going to want blood sacrifice. And if I thought that you alone, or you and Janice together, wanted this to happen or permitted it for any reason, I'd give you to them right now as an atonement before some innocent person gets hurt.
Mr. Ballinger, I don't want to see Janet shot. On the other hand, I can't go to Gibson and file a complaint against those boys. I think they've been through enough. What do you think?
think that for the moment, Ben Briggs is legally insane. These are the keys to my old car out front. You find Janice Cummings and get her out of town. Leave my car at the railroad depot in Hyattsville. He could kill her, and you too, for that matter, in full view on Main Street, and I could get him off scot-free. With the same jury that judged his father guilty.
Maybe you'd better try to get word to the constable.
Word about what? He's grieving. He's been bereft. He's got a right.
But having it all brought home so sudden, though. And if there's a gun...
Eddie Fry said there's a gun. I don't see one.
Listen, there's one thing you got to give them credit for. They always minded their own business. They never bothered nobody.
I know. My wife was on that jury, too. What a shame.
Yeah.
Come in.
You're packing?
I've been asked to leave.
You excuse us. Thank you. Hurry up and finish. I've got Ballinger's car outside.
You got what?
We're leaving town.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Janice.
I'm going to the hotel in the main street, and I'm going to take a room there. And I'm going to stay. I'm staying here in Black River.
I know what you're trying to prove, but this isn't the time.
Eddie, if I leave now, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say that I lied on purpose.
Let's say that anyhow. Some of them. But Janice, there's a kid out there in the street with a gun.
Well, I've got nothing to be afraid or ashamed of.
Let's give him a chance. Let's give Vin Briggs a chance to get his senses back. Let's get out of town.
Look, I don't know where Vin is, so we just quit asking me about it.
What's the matter, boy? Are you and Vin determined to have a murder in the family?
You stop it. Just stop it now. Look, I don't care what any of them think of us. Vin is looking for one thing, justice. And that's all.
All right, son. A terrible mistake took your father from you, but if anything happens to your brother, it won't be by error. So you just be ready to shoulder the blame that you're asking for.
Eddie Fry! I can still see you!
Don't do this, Ben.
I smashed the distributor, Fry. Now you walk away and leave her there. I want her.
Where are you? Look, Ben. Your father and I did fight. He did try to kill me. Janice wasn't lying.
Now, if you protect her, Fry, I'm gonna get you too.
Come on.
in.
Usual pay.
Gonna hunt down the son, I guess, same as he did his daddy.
I've got 2 innocent people inside here. I just want to...
Innocent, he says. I wish he could have seen them together in her room.
Justice Briggs was innocent too, John.
Curry, what about you? All I want is to get these 2 out of town before there's any more trouble.
John, if Ben Briggs gets in the way, or if like a while ago when he fired those shots, would we be expected to shoot?
There's something going on around in front of us.
Where are they?
Oh, they're in the courtroom. Fry took her in there so she could lie down.
I think I should go now. Relieve some of the pressure.
Well, let me advise you. Now, wait until it's dark. Those people out there think that Ben Briggs is right. The rest of them have gone home and turned up the sound on their radios. Wait.
I decided to drive over to Hyattsville, get the sheriff.
You're leaving town?
I can't get any help here.
I'll give the sheriff a call.
Better if I go.
Better for who? Not for her and not for this town.
Shut up! Bertram. I let Justin out of his cell that night. Let him eat supper in the office. I knew in my heart he never killed a man. I knew when he made the break that I'd have to go after him. I knew I'd bring him back dead. If Vin was to walk in here now, I don't think I could raise a finger to stop him. Go get the sheriff.
Vin, come on. Let me hold the gun.
I never used to know Pop Roy. I always used to argue with him so much.
Vin, he whipped us. You know, he whipped us a lot when he was drunk. Like you are now.
I'm not drunk anymore, Roy. Pa wasn't drunk either.
But he was that night.
He asked that woman to take Ma's place, and she turned him down, and she ran straight to that Eddie Fry. Eddie Fry. I'm going back up on the roof so I can keep watch.
Vin, now wait a minute. You're gonna do this, and they're either gonna kill you or they're gonna take you away. I'm gonna be left all alone. Vin, look, why don't you let him go? Let him go. You scared him plenty, Vin. Vin, you know it's only Mr. Ballinger down there with him now? Let me go out there and tell him that my brother says that Fry and Janice Cummings have got to get out of Black River and never come back. He's our friend, Vin. He'll do it. He'll make him go. Won't that be enough for Pa, Vin? Please, Vin. Please, I'm scared.
I never thought about you being alone, Roy. Okay. You go and tell him to come here, and I'll wait for him. I'll give myself up.
I asked him to join the lodge when he first came to town 7 years ago. But no, he'd rather keep to himself. He has ever since.
I submit that the prosecution is merely producing the excuse this town has always wanted for ridding itself of a man it simply doesn't like.
He interfered in my family affairs. I thrashed him for it, that's all I did. That's all she saw. Why won't somebody look for Eddie Fry?
Why did he run? Didn't he know that they'd kill him if he tried?
I'm sure he knew they'd try.
He had to try either way. He ran because running was the only hope they gave him.
Mr. Ballinger! Mr. Ballinger, my brother wants to see you down at the cabinet shop.
Ben Briggs is down at the cabinet shop. That's where Roy just come from. Ballinger's going down to see Vin at the cabinet shop.
Ballinger. Now, Vin, I'm glad you come to me, boy. Because like I told you, Vin, I bear no grudges. I'm with you, son, and lots of us are, believe me. Now, I know you won't do anything wrong, Vin. That's why I'm glad to help out. I mean, Vin, nobody wants to see the innocent suffer. Right, Vin?
Daddy, please take me with you. I'm afraid to see him.
I can't do that, Janet. I'm leaving tonight. You take the bus in the morning.
Wait a minute, Eddie. You can't do that. Vin will think I turned him in just to let you go free.
Roy, if it's any comfort to you, I'm taking this wound with me. It's one less piece of evidence against it.
Eddie, you're running out on me again. Why, Eddie? Why? Okay, back up. Vin, you did this on purpose. You made me out a liar.
Don't you worry about nothing, Roy. Nobody's gonna care.
I care, Vin. Vin, I care.
Oh, boy, isn't this something? Huh? You remember how it was when they had Pa in here, huh, Roy?
Your father did attack me. He did try to kill me.
Is that right, Janice?
Answer me! Okay, now you get up there on that stand, you hear me? You get up there and let me hear you say like you said before about what a rotten killer my father was. No! You better get up there, Janice!
He accused Mr. Fry and me of something awful. And he said I ought to kill that man. He picked up the chair and he hit him with it, his head. Mr. Fry fell. He was bleeding. His head was bleeding. I can't.
You better tell me, Janice. You better tell me the truth.
remember what I saw and what I said. And I swear to you that if I saw it again right now, I'd still say that he was killing him.
Then can't you see she's telling the truth?
He never showed me any kindness or asked for anything but work. But he did offer me a home of my own, and I wanted that. I never loved him, but I never hated him. And if he was killed because I lied, well, I just as soon died.
Ben, can't you see she wouldn't lie about that?
Oh, yes, she would. They both would.
Eddie, I can't let you have the gun. He's my brother. He's the one Paul loved, not me. I owe Paul something. I gotta keep Finn alive.
Even if he kills somebody.
You better stop that. Nobody's gonna get killed.
Boy, we gotta pay him back. She ran off and left us, and she ran to him. Now, they're both wrong, and he knows it. That's why you ran away, isn't it?
Roy, my name isn't Eddie Fry. I was convicted of a murder I didn't commit, just like your father. That evening when Janice went for the police, I had to run away. I ran for the same reasons your father ran. Now, if they take me, I'll die for something I didn't do.
Finn, did you hear that?
I bet you're telling a lie. I don't care. That doesn't change it, Roy.
Oh, Finn, it does change it. It does, don't you see? He came back. He tried to help us. You can't blame him now.
Then where's Pop, Roy? Where is he? He must be alive somewhere. Hey, I'll bet he's hiding. Come on, Pop. Come on. Come on back. Nobody killed you.
Finn, Pop's dead. He's dead, but it's not any one person's fault.
It was the two of them.
Finn! Don't make me do it, Finn! No, Finn!
The baby! Now!
Go get a doctor, Roy. Hurry up. Go on. What happened? I don't think he's too badly hurt. They came in here and been drinking too much. He was out of his head. I shot him.
What'll this mean for the town, Ballinger?
Wait. Could you come over and see me tomorrow? But I need somebody to talk to.
Miss Cummings. You dropped your bags in the street before. Put them back in your room where they'd be safe.
Send him to the hotel.
Ballinger, why would both Roy and Fry confess to shooting Vin? Now, I just don't believe Roy done it. Now, I say we better find out before Fry gets away again.
Fry, you're too late. Fry left here half an hour ago. Go home, you pack of hyenas. Go home. I don't think Gibson will be back. But I called the sheriff. He'll be here.
How soon?
It's the law. You're afraid of, isn't it, Fry? And not much of anything else. I wonder why.
Well, Vin will tell you when he comes to.
Anything that I can do to help?
You just help the kids.
If I'm not back here in 10 minutes, go out the window.
He will use many other names and move through many other places, searching for Richard Kimball, dreading each backward look as long as he must remain a fugitive.
Tonight's episode, Stroke of Genius.
What's this all about?
What's what, Pa?
What's what, Pa? This letter from the university. That's what's what, Pa. Dear Mr. Keller, I've been informed by the admissions office that, as yet, there is no record of your son Gary's applying for admission to the university. Are you listening? Desirous as we are to have young men of Gary's remarkable academic achievement as members of our student body, we cannot, in fairness to others, continue to hold a place for him among our incoming students. It is, of course, with a great deal of regret. I filled this application out myself, and you said you mailed it.
I don't want it, Pa. You know that. You know, you can't afford it. I keep trying to tell you.
I keep trying to tell you that I'm very... Now, you're not smart enough to tell anybody anything, least of all the straight truth. I'm going to tell you something. I'm sick and tired of listening to this nonsense. I've been too lenient with you, just because you think you know what's right for you, eh? Well, I know. Get inside the house. Go ahead.
Gary, no, get it!
For many men, life is a ceaseless flight. Each moment of each day must be escaped by fleeing, somehow, somewhere, without rest, until one day all hope dies, even the hope of further flight. Perhaps for such men, death comes as a final and all-obliterating kindness. After a lifetime of nightmarish flight, an eternity of dreamless rest. But for Richard Kimball, there is no rest. Not free to live, he is also denied the freedom of death.
Stay back.
Hey, wait!
Hold it.
Oh, he looks hurt. Hey! Hey!
Don't touch anything. All right. Get back to the truck.
It's Reverend Barlow.
Get back to the truck and get off the highway.
I've killed Reverend Barlow.
All right, snap out of it now. Go back and do what I said.
Toma, ¿tienes hambre, eh? Pobrecito.
There's a man been shot.
¿Qué?
There's a man been shot on the highway.
No entiendo nada, no hablo inglés. Que se vaya, que se vaya.
Hombre. Muerte.
¿Un hombre muerto? ¿En dónde?
Muerto on the highway.
Allá arriba.
Teléfono.
Ay, qué horror. Sí, cómo no. Voy a llamar a la policía inmediatamente. Ay, qué horror.
Gary? Did you know that gun was loaded? Didn't you?
Yes.
Then why'd you fire it?
I thought the safety lock was on.
Oh, come on. You know better than that. I've taught you about guns. You're very good with them and very careful.
I didn't mean to shoot. I didn't mean to hurt anybody. He was the best friend I ever had. I loved him.
And he felt the same way about you, Gary. Maybe even more than he told you. All right, come on, Arnold. Let's get packing.
Packing? What for?
Well, we're going to go into the mountains. And if anybody asks, we've been there for at least 3 days.
Let's call the sheriff.
What's the matter with you? You want to get put in jail?
It was an accident.
And who's going to believe that? That far away, a moving car? That's 1,000,000 to 1. And that guy who saw us, he might have recognized us and called the sheriff? So come on. Let's get packing.
Harry said when he finished at the scene of the accident, he'd go over and break the news to Mrs. Barlow.
I'm just as glad it's not me. Buenos días, señora.
Buenos días.
All right, ma'am, where is he?
¿Qué?
George?
El hombre que reportó el accidente, señora, ¿dónde está?
Pues no sé, ya se fue. Después que les hablé a ustedes por teléfono, salió otra vez y ya se había marchado.
After she phoned us, she came out here and he was gone already.
Wouldn't you say that was a little strange?
Oh, I don't know. After all, he did have a call.
Well, we're nearly a mile away. Anybody else would have stayed around. Tried to flag down a car.
Guess you're right. You think he did it?
He's running like it.
Mire, yo tengo que dar a comer a los
Look,
pollos. Tienen
mire,
miedo
señora,
de
un
ustedes.
momentito,
¿Por qué no
un
se van a hablar en otro
Wait a
lugar?
minute. Ask her where it was when she saw him first.
Sí, oiga, ¿de dónde vino este hombre? ¿De qué dirección?
Pues vino de allá, de arriba. Y pasó por aquí.
Oh, he was coming from that direction.
Yo lo vi
He
aquí.
came down here. ¿Estaba herido el señor ese?
Sí, sí, tenía sangre aquí en la cara.
He had blood all over his face.
Sí.
¿Y podría describirlo un poquito mejor, señora?
Pues ya le dije, un hombre muy grandote de pelo
was
negro.
tall and he had dark hair.
Yo tengo que trabajar, los pollos tienen hambre.
Ya lo sé,
¿Por
she
qué
has
no
to
van a
feed the
hablar en otro
chickens.
lugar?
All right, well, come along with us now.
Sí, venga con nosotros. Venga con
¿Dónde?
nosotros.
¿A
A la
dónde?
oficina del sheriff.
¿Pero por qué? Yo no he hecho nada.
She says she's done nothing.
Look, will you tell her that a man's been murdered a few miles up the road and we need her to
¿Qué?
fill out a report?
¿Qué es lo que dice?
Mire,
¿Qué es lo
señora,
que dice,
un
hombre?
momentito,
No-
por favor. Mire, usted tiene que venir con nosotros para llenar una forma, un report.
¿Por qué?
Porque acaban de asesinar al reverendo Barlow.
Ay, qué barbaridad. Pero no es posible. Ay, venga, ey, hombre, señor, venga. Vamos, señor sheriff, vamos por allá. A ver lo que se puede hacer. No es posible, pero es verdad.
Sí, cómo.
Ay, qué barbaridad, hombre.
Get in the truck. I said, get in the truck.
Gary! Gary!
Hello? Yes, it is. It's for you. Sheriff's office. I'm sorry, Pa.
Hello? Hello, Harry. Oh, sure, what about? Okay. I'll be right over.
want to see me right away. About the Barlow killing.
I'm coming with you.
No.
I'll walk there if I have to.
The lousy, stupid waste.
Where do you think you're going? I'm sorry. I thought you were one of my men. What are you doing out here?
I got some friends. Looking for High Peak Road. Thought we'd do some fishing.
Where's your fishing gear?
They've got all the gear.
Well, you pointed in the right direction. It's at least 5 miles down the road.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, you men, on your feet, back to work.
Gary? Something I want you to say in there.
What, Pa?
That I fired the rifle. That I was cleaning it and it went off. A freak accident.
Don't ask me to do that.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. I wouldn't be any great loss. The retired chief petty officer who never could make it back in civilian life.
Please, don't talk like that.
Why, it's true, isn't it? Everything I ever touched never panned out quite right. Boy, the one thing that turned out right is you. Don't you spoil it now, huh? Come on, you just remember what I told you.
Hello, Keller.
Hi, Sheriff.
Hi, Gary. Sit down. Sit down, Keller.
Thanks, Sheriff.
I'll tell you why I called you over, Keller. I was wondering if maybe you could give us a hand with this thing. I've called in a lot of the fellas, Harris, Gurney, and Brooke, the usual gang, but we're gonna need a lot of help.
Sure, Sheriff. I'll be glad to.
Well, you can go on the night duty, and maybe Garrett can help with the phones.
Sure.
You know, Keller, this accident happened pretty near your place. I've been thinking about it, and I wondered, did you hear a crash? Or maybe a shot?
Well,
Sheriff, it's Chet Carter. You know he works at the diner up the road. He says he saw who shot the Reverend.
Yeah, Sheriff. A little before 9 o'clock this morning, Reverend Barlow come in to pick up my Jeep. I used to loan it to him every once in a while, you know, when he wanted to go fishing. And then a little while later, this other fella comes in.
Did you recognize him?
No, not from around here, I'd swear to it.
What did he look like?
Oh, dark trousers and dark jacket. About 6 feet, maybe 170, 75 pounds.
This fella, Chet, did he have black hair? Straight black hair?
Yep, that's right.
Brown eyes?
I think so. I didn't notice that too much in particular.
Sounds like that circular we were looking at this morning.
Wanted killer could be in the area.
That's the one.
It's on your desk.
Bring it to me.
I'll get it.
Chet, you said that this fella came in a little later. How much later was it?
How much later was it than what, Sheriff?
Than Barlow.
Oh, about 10 minutes.
We may be off the hook, Gary. Did they know each other?
No. No, they met for the first time right in front of me there.
Well, what'd they talk about?
Fishing, mostly. Oh, and then this other fella said that he'd been hitching a ride with a truck, but he was going on through town, so Reverend Barlow said, well, he'd give him a lift on down the highway for a ways anyway.
That's the fella you saw, Chet?
That's him, Sheriff. That hair is a little different, but that's him, all right.
Get me the chief of police up in Marisburg on the phone. There's a detective from back east up there, too. Name of Gerard, Philip Gerard, lieutenant. I want him in on the call, too.
Who is this guy, Sheriff?
Read for yourself. He was spotted just outside Marisburg 3 or 4 days ago. He's wanted for murdering his wife.
Looks like you got yourself a lot of trouble. Flat tire and a bunch of kids. Come on.
What for?
There's a gas station about 3 miles down. I'll give you a lift.
Well, the other fellow, my buddy, he went for help. We'll be all right, thanks.
Right.
I don't believe it. Whatever Kimball might be, he wouldn't do a thing like this. What reason would he have?
Best reason in the world, Lieutenant. Reverend Barlow must have recognized him.
Kimball's been recognized before by people who are a far greater threat to his safety. And he's never killed anyone trying to escape, nor even tried to.
Except this time. After we catch Kimball, you're going to have a tough time getting him extradited. That's what you have in mind.
Yeah, but if he didn't kill that old preacher, you've got no right to hold him.
That you've got to prove.
This report, the Mexican woman who called in, her description of the man who came to her place fits Kimball exactly. Now, would Kimball kill somebody and then ask a woman to call the police?
Look, all I know is that nobody from around here would kill him. Now, you figure it out.
Sheriff, Barlow's personal effects. Joyce says the lieutenant might want to take a look at him.
Oh, thanks. Why don't you go on home, Keller, and get some rest? We're going to need you all night.
That's all he had on him?
That's it.
Prayer book, wallet. Yeah. Sheriff, do your men have orders to shoot?
If they're shot at, of course.
Kimball won't shoot. I promise you that.
Why do you ask?
There's a good chance he might have seen something. He knows something. Might even have seen the killer.
All right. I'll send out the word. We'll bring him back in one piece.
Oh, and, Sheriff, can you tell me where the Barlow house is?
Pa? Mrs. Barlow called a little while ago. She wants to see me.
Don't bother her, son. Not now.
What about that man?
Kimball? Well, all they know is that him and Reverend Barlow were talking about going fishing or something. They drove off in the Jeep. Nothing else.
Guess he was going up to the cabin.
What cabin?
Well, last month he bought this cabin up in the mountains. Said he wanted to get away from it for a while. Be by himself. Pa, what happens if they catch this man?
We'll worry about that when we get to it. You know where the cabin is?
Yeah, he took a bunch of us up there last week to help him with a roof.
Where is it?
The end of High Peak Road. There's a dirt road that branches off to the right a couple miles, and then there's a trail.
It'll be all right. I'll see you later.
What? Where you going with that rifle?
Taking it to town. Have that Swede at the gun shop look at it. Check the safety.
Loaded? You're going after him yourself, aren't you, huh? You know where he is.
How would I know?
If you kill him, I'll tell.
If you kill him, I'll tell. What's the matter with you? I don't want to kill anybody. I just want to find this guy and talk to him. But I don't know what he's like. He's a wife killer and a murderer, and he may be dangerous. I just don't want to get into something like that without protection.
Promise me if you don't have to, you won't use that. Please, now, just promise me.
I promise. If he doesn't try anything.
It isn't that important. Nothing is that important.
And I'll decide what's important. Put the scissors down. Over there on the table. Now get your hands up. And the other one. And one false move out of you, mister, and you're dead.
I can't raise my right arm.
Turn around. All right, sit down over there. You're in a lot of hot water, friend. Half this county's out looking for you. What's your name, anyway?
Frank Whistler.
Frank, I had a hunch you'd be here. And I'm right.
What do you want with me?
That's a good one. The murder of the Reverend Barlow. That's what. That guy who works in the diner where you met Barlow this morning. Well, he described you to a T.
I didn't kill him. We were driving along, and there was a shot. The Jeep turned over, and I was thrown clear. When I came to, there was a man and a boy. Maybe they had something to do with it.
Or what?
I don't know.
Well, if you didn't kill him, why'd you take off?
Reasons of my own.
What did this man and boy, what'd they look like?
I couldn't tell. They were too far away. They could have been anybody.
Well, I happen to know this boy and his father. They're good friends, and they're good people.
Did they kill him?
It was an accident. It was a freak accident. The boy didn't mean to shoot. These mountains, they stretch all the way out of the state.
Are you letting me go?
I don't want anything to happen to that boy.
Must be quite a boy for you to take this risk.
He's got more brains and goodness in his little finger than this whole town's got put together. Now go on. I'll close this place up after you've gone. I'm not going to shoot you in the back. What's he doing here? You know who I am, don't you? What difference does that make? Now, you let me take care of this. You walk out in front of me as if you're my prisoner.
Oh, boy! Am I glad to see you, Lieutenant. This guy's full of all kinds of tricks.
Kimball?
Am I convicted of this one, too?
No, not this one. Saw your car back there. Checked the registration. How come you're here?
Wild hunch. My boy Gary, he told me about this place. You know, he knew Barlow pretty well. I figured he told him about it and gave him some ideas about where to hide out. How'd you think about it, Lieutenant?
Mrs. Barlow said her husband had just rented this place and was on his way up here. When a man goes up to his cabin, he usually takes a key along. And it wasn't with his personal effects. Did you take it, Kimball?
Oh, I told him I was out of work. He offered me a job doing some repairs here. He gave me the key.
All right. Back inside.
What for?
A few things I want to know from you before we see the sheriff. Come on.
It was your son, wasn't it?
You say one word about seeing a man and a boy, and you won't even get off this mountain alive. And neither will he.
Sit on over there. What's the matter with your arm?
I tore the muscle when the Jeep turned over.
What happened? I know you hitched a ride with him.
They were driving along. All of a sudden, the old man slumped. I could see he'd been shot. The bullet came from somewhere.
Any idea where?
No.
What about after the crash? Did you see anything, anyone?
No, no one.
You had anything to eat?
I was gonna open that.
Well, let's start back when you've eaten. Why don't you start closing up?
Oh, Gary, it's you.
Mrs. Barlow,
Oh, well, come in, come in.
I thought there'd be a lot of people.
Well, there have been, and there will be again this evening, but, well, I asked to be left alone for the afternoon. Come. Well, as you can see, I'm not only sentimental, I'm also, messy.
I had no idea that in 35 years, two people could take so many photographs of...
Mrs. Barlow, I'm sorry it happened.
Oh, how he admired you, Gary, and how proud he was of you. Come on. Remember when you were a little boy and he gave you your first watercolors?
Yes, ma'am.
And you went home and painted and painted and painted and then gave them all to him on his birthday?
Yes.
Funny scrawls and blotches from a funny little boy. He loved them. And even then he'd say, that boy is a genius. Well, it seems he was right. I want you to have these funny scrawls and blotches back, Gary. They were very precious to him. He did something behind your back, I'm afraid, as a surprise. But we've got an answer back before... Oh, it's all so strange. This morning, just 5 minutes after he drove away, the mail came, and in it was this letter about you, the surprise that he'd hoped for. And a little over an hour later, the phone rang, and they said that some man had murdered him. I had the letter in my hand when I took the phone. I didn't know what to think. A voice talking about death on the phone, and in my hand, news that would have brought him such joy. Have you ever heard of the J. Edward Newton Fund, Gary? They award an annual grant of $5,000 to study art in Europe. My husband wrote to them, sent them some of your pictures, and here it is for you and for the beautiful gift God gave you, my dear boy.
Oh, God, forgive me.
Gary.
Please forgive me.
Gary, what is it?
I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident.
Gary. Gary, what is it, dear? Gary. Forgive you for what, dear?
Oh.
Gary.
You say there was an interval of about 10 seconds between where Mr. Barlow was shot and where you crashed, and you were going about 50 miles an hour?
That's right.
So the shooting probably happened about 200 yards back from the scene of the crash. Did you see anything back there, house or anything?
No, nothing.
Of course, everybody's been so eager to throw this whole thing into your lap. Nobody's even checked that far up the highway. Keller, when we get the cars, remind me to call in. I'll have the sheriff send someone up there, see if anybody lives there. All right, let's go. I'll see you get to a doctor as soon as we get in.
Okay, hold it, Kimball.
I'm going to call in. Keep an eye on him.
Don't be a fool, Keller.
Go on, beat it. I got nothing to fear from you anyway.
Lieutenant Gerard to headquarters. Lieutenant Gerard to Santa Elena headquarters. Come in, please.
Gerard!
Lieutenant Gerard, come in, please.
Hold it there, Keller!
Come in, Lieutenant Gerard, come in. Lieutenant Gerard, we've got a dispatch for you. Lieutenant Gerard, can you hear us? We've got a dispatch for you. We've got a confession on the Barlow case. Do you hear me, Lieutenant? We've got a confession on the Barlow case. Gary Keller has confessed to the shooting. His father, Deputy Keller, may be somewhere near the Barlow cabin. He may be dangerous. Do you hear us, Lieutenant? Gary Keller has confessed to shooting Reverend Barlow. Lieutenant Gerard, come in, please.
I'm sorry. I had to. Look, I had to.
I know, Gary. What's going to happen to him now, Sheriff?
You'll get off a lot easier than you will. Believe me.
And after that?
Don't worry about that. He's a good kid. He's got lots of friends here.
Then maybe I didn't do so bad after all.
Even for the guilty, there is relief when the truth is known. But for Richard Kimball, the truth that will free him lies somewhere ahead, over the next horizon, beyond the next town, in another place, at another time. When a train wreck freed him en route to the death house, freed him to hide in lonely desperation, to change his identity, to toil at many jobs, freed him to search for a one-armed man he saw leave the scene of the crime, freed him to run before the relentless pursuit of the police lieutenant obsessed with his capture.
The guest stars in tonight's story, Gabriel Dell, Linda Day, and special guest star Martin Balsam. Tonight's episode, There Goes the Ball Game.
man on the run has few moments to relax, to live as other men. But even a fugitive cannot live by flight alone. Even he must pause for the rare moment to replenish.
Excuse me, sir. I think you're sitting in the wrong seat. That's this one.
Excuse me.
I'm expecting someone, and we always have these seats.
I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the lineups for today's game. First batter, number 6, playing second base, Al Frischman. The next batter, number 12, the left fielder, Ken Kobe. Next batter, number 3, playing first base, Ray Scheinbaum.
Miss Newmark?
The next batter,
Pardon me, sir. I have a message for the young lady.
playing center field.
What is it?
There's a phone call for you, a Miss Walton.
Vicky?
Would you follow me,
Next
please?
batter, number 21, the shortstop, Bertie King.
Excuse me, sir, have you been sitting here long?
I beg your pardon?
Well, I was supposed to meet my girlfriend, but I'm terribly late. I didn't think she'd, I'm sorry.
Well, there was a girl here waiting for someone. But a man came and told her she had a phone call, and she left.
When was that?
Right before the game started.
That's quite some time ago. Phone call? Did she know the man?
Well, he was a park official, I think. He called her by name. He said there was a message from Vicky. Vicky, huh?
What did he look like?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I'd remember him again if I saw him. That's
Your
about all.
attention, please. Miss Vicky Walton, please report to security office, lower level. Miss Vicky Walton, please report to security office, lower level.
Sir, if you don't mind, come along with me.
Where?
The park security office. They'd like you to answer a few questions.
Mr. Tyler, let's just get this straight. You saw my daughter, and you saw the man who kidnapped her.
I saw two people.
Well, whoever it was called me at the newspaper. Said he had Nadine. I didn't recognize his voice. He said no publicity and no police, and he demanded my home phone number, said he was going to call me there later. Now, I came right down here hoping to find someone who could help. And I guess that's you.
How can I help?
You told me you'd recognize him if you saw him again.
Well, no, I said maybe.
Well, that's good enough. I'll get the ID cards of all my employees, have them sent over the house for you to check out.
Mr. Newmark, I sympathize with the way you feel, but I can't.
If you have any other plans, cancel it. We'll contact your family. Give Joe here your number.
I have no family.
Then I can count on you.
What I'm trying to say is that I have a job and I have to be there at 7 o'clock.
Mr. Tyler, don't worry about your job. I'll square it. If you get docked, I'll double it. If you lose it, I'll give you another one.
I just don't see how I can be of that much help.
I can see it. You're the only one who can identify the kidnapper.
I'm sorry, no.
Mr. Tyler, I'm talking about my daughter. If I strike you as a benign man, forget it. Any threat,
The thing's near and dear to me. I've become a street brawler. Now, you said no, I don't hear it. All right, I'm making a citizen's arrest.
What charge?
My wallet's missing. I'm sure if Joe here would search you, you'd find it in your pocket. And the police will take my word for it. Now, is that what you want, or are you going to come with me?
I guess I'll come with you.
Phil, what's this all about? I don't understand.
We'll explain it to you.
Now, this is your home for the next 24 hours, Miss Newmark. There's just that one door, and it's triple locked. And all these windows are tight. So don't try anything cute. That thing's too loud, Phil. Will you turn it down? Take off the shoes. Ah, just the shoes. Off, I said. Look at those heels. One whacking.
What are you doing?
Checking for weapons.
You think she carries a gun?
All women are armed. Nail file. Rat tail comb. Cuticle scissors. And she's a walking arsenal.
Phil, why?
Tell her. You play with fire, you gotta get burned.
She'll figure it out.
Oh, look. If it's money you want, I'll get it for you.
Which is why you're here, Miss Newmark.
Oh, Phil, this is all wrong. You'll only get into trouble.
Sure no. Not if you behave yourself.
Phil, we were... Well, I thought we were friends.
A little more than that. Don't you remember?
You know I remember.
Well, I don't know why you should. I must have been one of 100.
That's not fair.
Oh, that's great. You talking about fair, that's just great.
I don't know what you mean. I really don't.
You don't remember any of it. All I know is when I had major league prospects, I have a girl, and the arm gets sore, and she walks out on me.
That had nothing to do with it. It was over. That's all.
Just like that.
Phil, look. We had some good times, some laughs, but that was all. And then it was over. I never intended for it to be any more.
Well, I guess I'm the stupid type.
The American dream. Marry a rich man's daughter.
Knock it off, Chester.
Look, Phil, I thought you knew exactly what we had. I never intended to hurt you.
Okay. Okay, you had your kicks. It's over now. But it'll cost you.
Look, both of you, let me go. You'll get your money, I promise. And my father won't press charges. I'll see to that.
Where you going?
Just to get a glass of water. Or do I need your permission for that, too?
For the next 21 hours, you needed to breathe. Jerry, I want you to watch the gate, see that nobody gets through. Rosie, you should be in bed. What's she doing down here?
She can be as stubborn as you, Mr. Newmark.
Have you found out anything more? There haven't been any telephone calls.
No, we're working on it. Now, please let me do the worrying. We'll get her back.
Vicky, dear.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Newmark. If I hadn't been late,
It's not your fault, dear.
This is Gene Tyler, my wife. He spotted the kidnapper at the game, and he's going to help us.
Mr. Tyler, I'll be so grateful for anything you can do.
Rosie, please, don't fret. Now, go upstairs. Try to get some rest.
How can I rest?
All right, I'm worried. You're worried.
She's 22.
Now, come on. Upstairs you go. Take her upstairs, Aggie. Up you go. Doctor's orders.
Just hold on to me, Mrs. Newmark.
Aggie, show Mr. Tyler where he can clean up. When you finish, come on down here. We can go to work.
This way, Mr. Tyler.
You're going to be an important man to me, Mr. Tyler. I won't forget it. Joe. Joe, I want you to go down to the paper and get me all the personnel cards. I want this Tyler guy to look at all the pictures, everybody who's ever worked for me. Then I'll have Jerry get me the names of all the people who worked in this house in the past 5 years, and I want you to check them out.
It'll take more than 24 hours to check all those names out, Chief.
Okay. Check Tyler out, too, and have Jerry put a guard on both gates.
Will do.
Check on Tyler?
Sure. Who is he? What do we know about him?
But you insisted that he come here.
Well, he wasn't anxious. And how do we know that he didn't deliberately give us the wrong description of the kidnapper?
Well, he didn't have to say anything, and he wouldn't be here at all.
I know it's wild, but everybody's got a rock. You dig, you'd be surprised what you find. Even if there's only one chance in a million, I've got to touch on all bases. It won't hurt to check one more name. Gene Tyler's the name.
It's almost 6 o'clock. You said you'd call my home.
Phil. It's 5 minutes to the phone booth. 1 minute for the call. And a second more. We don't want any trace. I can make it back in 11 minutes.
Hey, we got time. The old boy sweat a while, and if we ask him for Fort Knox, we get it. No, Chester! I don't want her marked.
You're gonna let her get away with that?
She didn't, so simmer down. I set up this deal, and you agreed. Nobody gets hurt.
You better not try anything like that again.
She won't.
You bet she won't. Because next time I might just get mad.
Take it easy.
You take it easy. I know what I'm doing. And you better know it, too. Both of you better know it.
Hey, I know what's at stake.
And remember it. Because I don't want no surprises. can't figure anyone I know who would do such a thing. Maybe it was somebody Nadine knew that I had never met, or you know. I mean, you're friends, you date together, you do things together.
We know a lot of people, Mr. Newmark, but a lot of strangers know about you.
Oh, it's my fault, right? You punk kids are just a bunch of saints. What's the matter?
I'm finished.
Check him again. Take it over there. Newmark residence. Newmark.
Mr. Newmark, listen carefully. I won't repeat. $200,000 for your daughter. In used bills. 10s and 20s. Got that? That should fill a large suitcase.
Who are you? And where am I supposed to get old bills? It's late.
You'll manage. I don't interrupt. I'll call you before noon tomorrow. Tell you where, when, and how to deliver. Got that?
Now, what assurance do I have that my daughter's all right?
You'll have it. And remember, no police, no publicity.
Where's Tyler?
He went out.
Why didn't you tell me?
You were on the phone.
Anyway, he'll be back. Oh, Fred, this is Andy. Listen, I just heard from the kidnappers. Now, they want $200,000 in old $10 and $20 bills. What do you mean 2 days? By noon tomorrow, Fred. Don't promise me. Have it. Right.
Caught him trying to sneak out the gate.
Nice work, Cherry. Where do you think you're going?
I did my job. I looked through the cards. I couldn't identify him.
I'll be getting information on some other people, so stick around.
Oh, you don't need me anymore. We made a deal. I kept my end of it.
Fine. I'm grateful. Now we're making a new deal.
You never intended to let me leave until you got your daughter back, did you?
Point. You're the only witness to the fact. Now, if I need the police, they'll need you. You're the only one they can line up suspects for.
You've already been in touch with the kidnappers.
So cheer me on. Sit on your duff. You never had it so good.
If you want a witness, your daughter's a witness.
Suppose he kills her.
I can't prevent that.
Granted. But if that happens, I'll get whoever's in my way and who's ever responsible. Now, right now, you're the only weapon I have.
You can't hold me.
What kind of a cold potato are you anyway? My daughter is 22 years old. She's out there somewhere with a kidnapper or a killer for all I know.
Well, maybe I can't identify him. Not in the files. He has no record.
So you gave me a chunk of your life. I'm beholden.
Phil. Never mind.
Oh, go ahead.
It wouldn't be any use.
Try me. You want to ask me if I'm sure I know what I'm doing?
Something like that.
Guess when a dame like you snows a guy, you figure he stays snow. Don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing.
What about your friend Chester?
What about him?
Phil, he's gonna kill me. I know it.
Look, I told him, and I'm telling you, it's my show.
It doesn't seem that way.
Well, look, I planned the whole thing. As far as Chester's concerned, he's just a hired help.
But if he does try to kill me, do you really think you could stop him?
Just shut up with this talk about killing.
Give it up, Phil, please. I'll talk to Daddy. He won't press charges, I swear it.
Just shut up!
Phil, whatever we had together, it was good, wasn't it? All right, so it ended. But that's no reason for you to get yourself into this kind of trouble. All it takes is one quick call and you'll be out of it.
Don't!
Phil, I know what you probably think. But I meant what I said before. I never wanted to hurt you. Oh, Phil, I'm scared.
How'd the call go?
He was on the phone 30 seconds. No time for trace.
Good.
Not so good. You didn't get all the lipstick off. What's the matter with me? Don't I appeal to you? Not your type, huh? Well, you're mine. Any dame worth 200,000 is.
Take it easy, Chester. Just because
because and more. There's a very interesting item in the paper. I picked it up after the call.
Publisher's daughter missing. Feared kidnap victim. Spectators at the ballpark were questioned. According to reports, an unidentified man came forward with a description of the abductor and is now being held incommunicado.
But this isn't even Daddy's paper.
Doesn't matter whose paper. Changes the ball game.
Somebody spotted us.
Us? Me. I bought the deal from you and I made the snatch. I'd call on the phone because the old man might recognize the voice that went with the arm. I do all the dirty work.
Never mind that. We got to think about who's gonna...
Not us, me. There's nothing to think about, but something we got to do. Get that witness.
How? Who is he? Where is he? We don't have the time. By this time tomorrow, the FBI's gonna be in. You know what that means?
There was only one person that paid any attention to us at the ballpark. The guy that sat next to her.
But I never saw him before in my life.
That witness is a complication, and we've got to get rid of complications. So, he's going to deliver the money.
I don't follow. Why?
Because I say so. Because he can identify me, not you. Because after he delivers the money, he won't be a witness.
Chester.
I know what I'm doing. Everything neat and clean. We get the money, we get rid of the witness at the same time.
Joe, how did this break? Newspapers, television, radio?
I checked with the security office at the ballpark. One of their guards finally admitted he leaked the story to a newspaper man.
This throws a scare into the kidnapper. Okay, Joe, thank you. Tyler. Newmark.
It's Pete, Chief. Captain Gibbs is on his way through.
Oh, great. First the newspapers, then the police. Okay, Pete, thank you. Where are you going?
I thought I'd go up to my room.
After the police leave. Won't take long. Just, I'll cooperate a little, they'll cooperate. The most they can do is ask you a few questions, that's all.
Sorry to bust in, Andy.
Well, so you're reading my competition.
I wouldn't have to. If a friend will let me know when he's in trouble.
This is Vicky Walton. Gene Tyler. This is Bill Gibbs. Even out of uniform, he's still brass buttons.
You're the young lady who was supposed to meet Miss Newmark, huh?
That's the man who saw the kidnapper. But you probably know that anyway.
Looks like you got a corner on the witness market.
Bill, the kidnapper called me. Now, he wants me to keep the police out of this.
Still, you should have kept us informed, Andy. Anyhow, the FBI called. This makes the inquiry official.
But they don't have to get into it unless you make a request.
But we've wasted valuable time, Andy. Tyler here could have been working with us.
I haven't wasted any time at all. I've been keeping him busy. You're the one who worries me. Your car parked in my driveway could kill my daughter. For all I know, the kidnapper could be watching this place.
The paper broke it wide open, Andy. Have you heard from them again?
Yes, and he's going to call tomorrow.
What I can't figure out is how they knew Miss Walton here would be late. Their whole plan depended on it.
I think I can help you there. Because when I got in my car to pick up Nadine, it was out of gas.
It happens.
But I'm sure I filled it day before yesterday. Anyhow, by the time I walked to the station, picked up a gallon, went back to the car, they filled it up. Oh, that must have taken 25 minutes to half an hour. Well, don't you see? Somebody must have known both of us. Known where I live. And that I park my car on the street overnight. And we go to the ballpark every Saturday afternoon and where we sit.
Well?
Well, there must be more to it than simple coincidence. Don't you think?
I think you're probably right. When we get through here, I think it would be a good idea if you come downtown with me. Check the mugshots. Who knows? You might meet an old friend of yours in one of the books.
Bill, why don't you take off right now? That car of yours outside makes me nervous.
Andy, I'm only trying to help.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. I'm just half out of my skull. My wife's sick, the kid gone. I have to raise all that money. I know you're in the wings.
Holler and we'll come out.
Okay. One way or the other, it'll be tomorrow. Then you can turn your dogs loose.
Okay, Andy. Let's go, Miss Walton. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Tyler. Not every citizen would get involved.
Now, what's the matter? Don't you want to talk to Daddy Warbucks?
You tell him to take his hands off me.
Go on, tell me.
Be easier for you if you don't fight us every inch of the way.
You shine his shoes, too.
Just keep her still.
Get the other one. Newmark.
Okay, Newmark, you got 1 minute to get this. Bring the money to that old power plant on Dorado Road. South end of town. Back entrance. 8 o'clock sharp. You got that?
Is my daughter safe?
Dad?
Honey, are you all right?
Dad!
Nadine? Hello? Hello?
You heard. She's alive and okay. Now, that means no police and no FBI. You got that?
Yes, I got it.
Oh, one more thing. The witness delivers the money. Alone.
What are you talking about? What witness?
You heard. I read the papers. The witness makes the drop, and I know what he looks like. Dorado Road, back entrance. 8 sharp. Walk in 50 yards. Wait. Come on.
Well, at least I know now, this minute, that my daughter's all right.
Mr. Newmark, I can't do what they want.
Now, don't waste my time.
No, you know why he wants me.
Look, I want my daughter back. You're going to deliver to the letter.
Now, he'll do the same thing to your daughter for the same reason.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe it because you don't want to believe it. If he didn't intend to kill all the witnesses, why would he want me personally to deliver the money? Now, as long as I'm alive and can identify him, no harm will come to your daughter.
Well, if you don't show, someone else does that could scare him off or panic him into killing her. No, you're going to go through with it.
I know you don't care what happens to me. I can understand that. Now, you can't force me into going through with it.
I think I can. I could send you over to Captain Gibbs' office to check over some mugshots, but I don't think that's the place you want to go. Is it, Dr. Kimball? Sorry to drop the other shoe, but you were the last on the list and the easiest to check out from my own newspaper morgue.
I don't expect you to believe me, but I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care one way or the other. Just between you and me, Doctor, maybe Nadine didn't turn out the way I expected her to. Right now, that doesn't make any difference. She's my daughter. And if you don't deliver, I will turn you over to the police.
How do I know you won't anyway?
You don't. Oh, point. Don't take any walks from now until 8 o'clock.
Fine. If you think I'm a murderer, how can you trust me? After you give me the money, maybe I'll just continue to walk.
That's my gamble. I'm betting you won't. Everything I've got comes from gambling on what men will do when the chips are down.
It's a big bet, $200,000.
Bigger than that. I'm betting on my daughter's life.
I don't get it. Why was she passed out so suddenly?
Sweet repose. Poor kid's been having a trying time.
A cup of coffee.
Knockout drops. I don't want any last-minute ruckus. Miss Newmark will never know what hit her.
Never know what? Chester, never know what?
Get it through that thick amateur head of yours that we're in this all the way? Well, you weren't so squeamish when I said I'd take care of the witness.
Hey, well, him...
And her. Now, I've been carrying the load, and I'll follow through. You'd only bungle.
But I didn't figure on killing anybody.
You didn't figure a witness. Even without him, she's one. What did you think you'd do after the kidnapping? Ask Nadine to please not say anything to Daddy or to the police?
Leave the country. Brazil, maybe. You too.
I like it here. What's the matter? You some kind of commie? You want to leave your native land?
Chester, I think...
I'm doing the thinking. We'll separate after the money is divided. You won't know what happened to either one of them.
You mean even before the witness you were going to kill her?
There's no other way, lover boy. There never was. You got pangs? Think of the loot. 100,000 covers a lot of conscience.
Hold it.
The devil do you think you're doing?
I have a warrant for his arrest. I thought he looked familiar, so I checked our mug files. Dr. Richard Kimball. Or are you going to tell me you didn't know?
Bill.
Andy, don't obstruct. I had to get rough with your gateman. I don't want to get any rougher than that.
Look, Bill, don't jam the works. I need him to get my girl back. He's the drop. It's not my idea. It's the kidnappers. He has a rendezvous at 8 o'clock.
I'm sorry.
You gave me your word.
Not to go after the kidnapper. But a murderer, that's different.
All right. I'll call the commissioner. You know, my paper influences police policy here. Appropriation.
You're a big man in this town, Andy. I know you can hurt. You may cost me my job, but right now, He is my job.
And while you're doing your job, you're killing my daughter. You're not just capturing a murderer. You're committing a murder.
Andy.
Look, you can have him back. I'm not fighting about that, but he's the only chance I have to get her out alive.
Andy, you're putting me on a spot.
Bill, I'm begging you. I never begged before in my life. You know how many people you're going to destroy?
I've got a job to do.
Of course you have. Just another hour, one lousy hour to get her out. What difference does it make to you if you can help to save her life?
It's possible. It's just possible that we can have our cake, kidnapper, and Kimball.
Hold it! Don't turn around.
Don't shoot. The money's no good. It's marked. Check for yourself.
Open the case. And don't pull anything out but bills. Pull out a bill. Where? How?
The bills have been run through a machine. There's a hole in every bill. Right in one of the eyes.
Why are you warning me?
I want to make a deal.
What kind of a deal?
I want a piece of the action.
What action? You just told me the money's no good.
You're going to get another payoff from Mr. Newmark, aren't you?
Sure. But why do I need you?
Well, you don't, but... Well, you see, I think you owe me. I saved your life. You spend one of those bills, the police will pick you up in a minute.
How did you know the money was marked?
They told me. They didn't want me running off with the money.
How do I know I'm not walking into a trap?
I can't afford any traps. Well, you see, it's only a matter of time before the police get a make on me. I'm wanted for murder.
Who?
My wife.
Go on.
I'm Dr. Richard Kimball. Maybe you've seen my picture in the paper.
Yeah. Maybe I do remember.
When Newmark makes a payoff, all I want's $5,000.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
The police dropped me off. They've got the road staked out.
Yeah, I saw. But there are other ways out of here. My car's straight ahead. And mister, if I'm walking into anything, I'll get you before they get me. You better believe that.
I believe it.
moving.
You think Kimball will double cross us?
He'll try, but we won't lose him. Not if we keep within a 2-mile range.
What if he goes beyond the 2-mile range?
Then we both lose. But that homing device we placed on Kimball is the best we could fit into a cigarette package. Al, pick up Kimball moving northeast. Over.
Picked him up in the grid. They're not coming this way. Over.
He switched directions. Moving south. Plan A. Over.
I'm coming with you. You two follow in my car.
Where are we going?
Wherever this old abandoned road will take us.
Al, the scanner's frozen. Kimball's outside range. What do you read? Over.
The same. Don't know what to figure. Over.
There has to be another way. We'll keep moving and try for a pickup. Stay close. Out. I know it. He probably smashed that homing device and hightailed it into the tall grass.
I don't think so.
Got something to back that up with?
A lot of years being right about a lot of guys.
Al, I got the pickup. Kimball's back on the highway. Cross points 3 and 6. Stay close. Out.
This is Dr. Kimball. You know, the Dr. Kimball, my partner, Phil.
What's he doing here?
He was the witness. And a good thing, too. They gave him marked money. He tipped me to it.
Hey, this thing's going haywire.
Take it easy. It only postpones things. Now I'm gonna hit Newmark hard.
Hey, what about him? What do you mean, sure? Come on, what's happening with this?
My head.
All of you in there. This is the police. You're surrounded. Come on out.
Hey, what are we gonna do?
Hold it! It's Kimball. Al, keep an eye out for Kimball.
Baby. Are you all right? Are you all right?
I'm all right.
Hmm?
Hold it!
Quick, get in the car. Get in the car, Dr. Kimball.
Where's Kimball?
I don't know, but Mr. Newmark's limousine just took off going 70.
All right. What's going on, Andy?
Captain Gibbs, I'd like to report the theft of my car.
We owe you this for Nadine.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate.
No time. Hurry. Good luck.
So darkness swallows the fugitive, but it merely covers, not hides him. He is still hounded, still hunting, but still free until tomorrow.